Hi there, everyone. Welcome to CSGO Out Here, and we have a nice special We have a special podcast episode today where we'll be previewing the major coming up in Rio. But before we start and introduce the guest, I gotta say a word for our sponsors. First sponsor, Refrag, the premier CSGO training tool used by pros. Do you want to get on that level? Being a pro player, use Refrag. Train like a pro, be a pro. Use Refrag. Code NART to save 15%. Other sponsor, Underdog Fantasy. Underdog, have fun playing fantasy sports like football, basketball, and much, much more. Enjoy doing prop bets with Underdog Fantasy Sportsbook. Use the code NART on Underdog. Underdog will match all deposits up to $100. And obviously, please play responsibly. We have a new sponsor we have introduced in Buff Market, one of the few CSGO marketplaces out there that's actually pretty respectable and it's not a scam. It's the international version of Buff 1.1.163, the famous Chinese marketplace. And has the lowest trading fees at 2.5%. If you give your referrals also on Buff, you can also get 20% on those referrals anytime your friends make a referral, and you have a chance to win free skins. And lastly, Manscaped. Manscaped is the premier men's grooming equipment packaging right now with the best-selling Lawnmower 4.0. Got it right here. The best device for men's grooming. And trust me, your balls will thank you when you're using Manscaped. Use the code NART20 and get 20% off your next purchase. I recommend the package 4.0. You also get free shipping when you use the code as well. Now, time to introduce
no, sorry. Can we get some free Manscaped stuff?
Like, do you want some? Do you need your ball shaved? I'll get your ball shaved with this motherfucker.
That's not even a like. They're expensive. I was looking at them. It's like if there's any free, can we get some?
I'll try to ask the guy. Well, your balls need that much saving?
You need it. Yeah.
You need
long distance relationships.
Hey yo.
Long distance relationships and that.
All right.
2 seconds and I'm done.
Don't care. Time to introduce our guest with an amazing send-off right now. Let's introduce first. We have our producer, who's actually first time on the show, Werewolf. What's up, Chris?
What's up, boss?
Yeah, his producer does an amazing job. Actually, first time you see him on camera. The guy who does all this shit, there's him, man.
This is my first time ever on camera, like anywhere. So this is my first time on the internet as show my cam. So it's a really special moment for me.
There we go, man.
Reveal. Like,
Sam,
why didn't you do it sooner, bro? You're fucking hot, man.
I'm trolling. Get trolled. All right, move on.
We have one of our returning guests in Trav, one of the best CSGO commentators out here at the moment. What's up, man, Trav?
I'm very much looking forward to seeing how terrible Freddy's predictions are.
We have the guy who needs his ball saved the most with the red glasses.
I feel like special. When you were talking about special guests, I feel like that really implied me there.
Exactly. They say your balls need saving. How you doing, Freddy? Last time we had you on was the UK episode.
Oh yeah, I was here for the UK episode. It was a lot of people that one, so it's nice.
Yeah.
It's like more like refined now. We got less people.
And we got our first time ever. We got our first time guest right now. We always wanted to bring him on here. Xner. How you doing, man?
Good. It's Xner, but all good.
Xner, sorry.
He's trolling you, Saka. He's trolling you.
No,
it is.
No, I am dyslexic.
You can go by no. You can go by Snur. You can go by Crossner. I've heard. So anyone's fine. Let's be honest. Yeah.
Call him the worm. Call him the worm.
The worm.
Call him Cole.
Worm from House of Dragons. Goddamn. Joking.
Sure. Yeah. I like that show.
Joking.
Still haven't watched a new episode, so.
Oh shit! I don't want to ruin it then. Also, got my pet dog on my lap right now. She's just sleeping. So there she is.
Aw.
All
right.
Name my dog.
I'm Greek, so I named it obviously after something Greek. Athena.
Cool. Like
yeah.
That's nice.
Oh, that city, like
the
Athens.
patron saint of Athena. Yeah.
Yeah, pretty much like the city, like the Greek god itself.
The city. Okay, yeah.
Yeah, the city. It's obviously the city. I named it after the fucking city. There we go.
Wait, Chris, did you just ask if Athena was like the city?
Yes, it is.
Like 4 times.
She's the patron saint of Athens, but they're two very different things.
Same thing,
Technically,
right?
yes. Same thing, same long enough. She's just sleeping right now. All right, guys. Today's episode, where we start, we're gonna mostly preview the Rio Major. We're gonna do like a kind of like a pick 'em, and also do like a tier list at the same time, saying like who are the favorites, who are dark horses, who can make a run. Who's obviously gonna bomb out and go 0-3 and suck, and teams that have absolutely no shot, and just why we're there. So, before we begin, I have to ask everyone the same question. Who do you guys think is gonna win the major? Trav?
Fnatic.
Okay, that was really quick. Awesome.
Phase.
Travis?
Yeah, FaZe.
Phase. Because it just needs to happen for them to win the Intel Grand Slam and the major and just finish off the era all in one go. You know, I think they're gonna find a way to do it somehow. Don't ask me how, but they're gonna find a way.
Chris?
I'd probably have to say G2. I think they have the most potential for this one.
Oh yes, yes. Obviously,
In serious though, definitely not any Brazilian teams. Definitely not. But if I had to go an actual team, it'd probably be FaZe. FaZe up.
FaZe up. Freddie?
Just on like that Brazilian point, I think like the Brazilian team is so close to being like so good. They've got such like a good infrastructure behind them, and like you see a player like Skulls for Pain like coming from Odic. Like you've got like more players coming through and coming up, but I just feel like there's just still like a little gap between them and EU. And you see like especially like Spirit, for instance, when they dumpstered 9Z in that like Fire League just now. And like Pain did quite well against them, to be honest, but Pain's not even at the major. So I think like the Brazilian team's like so close to being so good, but just like not quite there. And I just don't see like I feel like it's like you see a lot of Brazilian teams is like them trying to recycle some of the old players, and I feel like this major could be kind of where we see that come to an end. Like a lot of the old guards kind of going out now.
You're
Apart from
calling out
that,
Imperial.
Fnatic.
You're
Imperial,
calling out
no,
Imperial.
I was
Yeah,
saying,
yeah.
I was even thinking like 0-0 Nation as well.
I think that-
Because like you see like a lot of like some of the teams stagnate, 'cause it's just like it feels like you have like some of these players who like once were quite good, still just hanging around and not even playing that well against like some of the newer talent. But apart from that, Fnatic will win the major because Mezzi's the best IGL to ever touch the turf.
There you go. He's going the British route.
Fair enough. Fair enough.
I like it.
Next.
I like it.
I think Navi. I'm just complete believer. Bit has been in tough form, but I think they can bounce back. I always believe that if Simple's on the team, anything is possible. Maybe backup is Vitality though. Those are some two. I don't think FaZe has it in them.
Not phased.
This is
Interesting.
mine. I don't. Okay, obviously, like everyone has like their favorites, like FaZe, Navi. I don't think unless Ben makes an unbelievable performance, I don't think it's gonna happen. I have a feeling we're gonna get a new one. I think we're gonna get Vitality. I think they're gonna win it.
It's a very open major. I think last
It's very
time
open.
it was.
Open.
I think
Could've been
last
so much
time it
more
was.
open with G2.
Yeah, it could. Yeah, I mean, like, there's a reason why they went 1-3, you know. So it's like, I think with like last major, it was just like Navi or FaZe, and then the major before that, Navi or
Navi,
G2 FaZe.
no one.
Like it
It
was
was
kind of like
Navi
yeah,
or
like
no one.
Navi. Yeah, but then like this, it feels like for the first time in a while, it's like oh, okay, like this could actually be like who the fuck's gonna win this?
Diamond Coin is going to be completely deserved.
Mhm.
Whoever
Oh,
gets
yeah.
Diamond Coin,
This
it's going to
is
be a
what-
brilliant.
Definitely not
deserved.
Don Hachi.
Speaking about Diamond Coin, we will do this since the pick'em should be coming out pretty much probably in a week or so. We are with Nart, who's not here at the moment, but he will be in the next couple shows. We will do like a pick'em challenge of all like the guests we have here, like Trav and everyone who wants to get involved. We're gonna do like a bet. Whoever gets like the diamond, you get prizes from me. So
Oh,
that's
that's
yeah, there
free
we go.
money.
Manscaped
free
Don't worry,
products.
none of us.
That's
will
why it's
ever
going to be
get diamond.
Manscaped products.
There you go.
I'll try. If I can get Manscaped, I'll try. I'll test it out. But it's gonna be like some skins. or something like that.
Make sure to
Remarkable.
test it before you send it to us.
Yeah, I want some little bit of usability out of it.
Yeah, see if like second
Broken in.
hand.
Second
Or if you
hand.
Mars them.
Yeah.
All right. But that's the other thing we're gonna do. We're gonna do like a group in shit with like all the commentators that we have on all the show guests we have. Do a pick 'em. You get shit from my private inventory, so we're all good on that point.
Lovely.
It's not sand dunes, okay? It's not fucking sand dunes. It's like shit. It's over $20. Yeah, there we go.
20 whole bucks.
Damn.
We're in the money.
20 bucks.
Schmeckles.
God
They're the
damn.
money.
About to be rich.
Bishmala.
All right, now we're gonna do our individual tier list. We're gonna start off with Trav at the moment. Hit it off, Trav.
Right, so yeah, I have a bit of a. I mean, as you can see, the middle of your screen might be up for some debate, that's for sure. I have my reasons for actually needing all of these teams. I think quite a lot of them, especially in the middle, come down to the ceilings of them. So, kicking off with favourites, I actually agree with Sadka in the fact that Vitality are probably one of the favourites in this particular event, even though favourites are very hard to come by. I mean, everyone's so close now, no one really knows who's going to win because FaZe and Navi have looked a bit iffy, but I think they're up there. As for Make a Run, I've gone for Liquid, Cloud9, and Furia. I think Liquid, if they have a consistent YEKINDAR, I think they can really push for playoffs and make it far. Cloud9, again, and Furia, to be fair to them, I think that both of them looked a little bit iffy recently. But I do believe they're a playoff team and they could easily beat anyone on their day, right? I'm worried about Furia with them having a poker player behind them, of course, in the coach slot, but still, we shall see. And yeah, the middle aspect now is the scary one, right? I'm absolutely predicting that I'm going to be very, very wrong with all of this, but I'm just going by how these teams inspire me and what their ceiling is. So, Dark Horse is Fnatic, no doubt. I think we've seen that the combination of Roy and Nikodos can make major playoffs already, so I reckon they can have a great chance of that, and Mezzi's proving to be very, very good at the moment, IGLing and fragging on that team, and I know Freddie agrees with me on that one. And IP, they've actually looked a lot better than I expected. Short term with Alexi, genuinely pretty good. I think they have a chance to make it. And actually, the order I put these teams in my Dark Horse and poor performance is how confident I am in my particular choice here. So I'm confident that Fnatic, Heroic, NIP, ENCE, they can all be Dark Horses. I put Outsiders in the middle of all that lot because they're just a team that's very hard to beat, full stop. I don't think they'll make it that far, but I think they're just there because they can beat anyone because they're just a bitch to beat, you know? Like, they're just very, very difficult to get past. Spirit, kind of 50-50 with Outsiders. They're okay, but again, I haven't seen too much of them recently apart from winning the event that was held in Barcelona. OG, this is the interesting one. Comparing OG to Big and mouz, I think that's like the biggest 50-50 ever. Like, I think Big can beat OG, OG can beat Big, mouz they can beat each other. They could play 10 online games between those and they'd all have equal wins. Like, I have no idea who's going to... Exactly, right? It all depends on the seeding. I have no idea who's going to come through that lot. I believe a slight bit in 00 Nation over Imperial because 00 Nation did get the win over them. And I think Imperial, they've done their job now. They've made the Rio Major. They're under so much pressure for that to actually get to this huge event toward the end of their careers. And I think they finally made it, and I'm happy. I'm happy for them, but I think maybe this is where they sort of they probably won't get through to the next stage in my book. As I said, poor performance, not confident in Big or mouz having a poor performance. I think that's a 50-50. They can very easily make it through. Sprout are incredibly inconsistent online and LAN. We've seen them be all over the place online recently. I honestly have no idea how they're going to do, so I put them directly in the middle. 9Z and BNE can beat anyone. gamerlegion are a complete question mark, but they've completed their goal of just making the major, so that's why I put them under poor performance. EG, again, looked better than expected, so that's why I put them there, but just slightly below a Dark Horse. I don't think they're Dark Horses at all for me. And finally, very easy one to end us off, 0-3. I don't think IHC will go 0-3 because they always seem to win one game. They've got some ridiculous aim stars. I think Grayhound are my 0-3 team, but I didn't think IHC would be necessarily poor performance. So Grayhound 0-3 for me, and that's that.
All right, let's hit it off. Next one, do we have Freddy's?
This is when it gets exciting.
Yeah, this one makes no sense.
So,
it makes no sense.
This is when I sat there, I was listening to Trav, I was like, fuck, he's put so much effort into this. So I've just gone, firstly, can we start at the bottom? NA. Obviously, is there anything more to say? I think it kind of goes hand in hand with like.
You're here for comedic value, which is excellent.
No. I think I'm here for factual reasoning. EG, just dog.
Okay, that's EG. We're talking about Liquid, man. What the fuck, man?
I don't know, like washed, and then you've got 0 and 3.
EPL?
To be fair, 0 and 3. That actually kind of was like okay. So let's start with the troll. NA UK as I think they'll, it's just like it's just putting us above the rest, like we are normally above the world. Like we're just above everyone else. So I feel like we need to make a separate tier list for like a little separate section just to really start proving our dominance. As I said, Mezzi is the best IGL in the world. Keita and Ash, or it's like Keita and Ash are just the best coaches to ever live the game. Like Furia have a poker player. We have the talents of Epic Land, and then FaZe because like
But you lost the power of the queen, though. You got King Charles now. I think that's it.
Yeah.
That takes you down.
Well,
Gotcha.
Lizzie
him.
is like looking over us like from the grave. She's looking over us. She's here to support us, and she's in our hearts, in our souls. And then you've got FaZe. I think that's pretty obvious, just FaZe. And then not FaZe, because it's like the two different, like, obviously FaZe are going to win, and then Na'Vi and Vitality are just like, it's like, yeah, they can do well, they can try, but realistically, not FaZe. And then probably go through. I like, outsiders probably should be there. I just find them really boring, so like I don't want them to go through. NIP are sick, even though Alexi B's been in their team for like a month. Heroic, I kind of forget they exist, but they probably will. And then same with like Furia. Like I actually kind of forget that Furia, like they're pretty, like it feels like their level as start as CS is like coming to an end, but it's still somehow working. Big, if they can have their full five, I think I agree. I can understand where Trav's coming from with like the mouz, Big, and who was the other one? Was
OG.
OG, yeah.
It's those three that I just can't pick between.
I think I can see where you're coming from. I just think Big are better if they have their all five, but I can see the basis of that.
Diff,
like,
yeah,
like I think with OG, as much as I love Neofrag and the other guy, I think
Fiku?
just they don't need. Yeah, Fiku. Yeah, I think like they just don't quite have the experience. I think and it was kind of like I saw it come in, and they've already, in my perspective, that OG roster, like everything they've done has just exceeded the expectations that I thought they would have had coming into this roster. And then mousesports as well. I thought Exertion replacing BMAS would be awful. I looked at that and I was like, on the basis you've brought in an academy player for one of the most experienced players in that roster, fundamentally you're going to the major. It's like that might become a problem. And then it just shone like mouz NXT's academy rosters. It just showed the level that they prepare the players is just so high, and it's something that Cyclone had spoken to me about, and Dexter saying that, like, you know, they do scrim every now and again, they do have impact on the academy team, and it just shows yet again how like some of the academy rosters, a ton of fire, just exist, and it's just like you kind of there to fill the spots, and then you have some like mouz NXT that actually like do something with their rosters and actually like are proactive with what they do. And you see like Fnatic Rising just made ECL, and like NIP, like the new Young Ninja squad is like actually got like so much basis behind it, and it's like looking really good. So it's really cool to see academy squad, like the academy rosters actually like becoming just insane now, and the prep is professional at academy level. But like I think they could do well, but I feel like it just might they'll go like 2-3. They're like going to be in like that type of area. Ents, they need more to prove. Sunpius and Valde, they're both sick players. I just think Sunpius, his English is definitely going to come in the way. When I interviewed him, he struggled. Like there felt like a language barrier, and that was at Cologne. So I just don't feel like he has. I feel like there is a problem there, especially when he, as a person, is like a secondary caller. So I think that might be an issue. Cloud9 will probably be like top 4 realistically. I think they should be a roster that should be going top 4 if they can perform on like at the big major. 9Z, I just really like them.
You like the logo,
yeah.
don't get me wrong.
I just love Try. I think he's sick. And then Imperial and Zero Nation, like they could win a map, like maybe. Spirit, I don't think should be legends as well. Like is Spirit and Sprout, I don't know. It doesn't feel right that they're legends.
Yeah.
The sort of, how do I explain it? How can I do it in a less vulgar manner? Okay, I'll just say it in a vulgar manner. The shit will disperse when it comes to the teams that made it through to legends, right? That shouldn't be there. Like Sprout, for instance. If they have no consistency like they've shown online recently, they'll just fall away, and the same goes for Spirit, in my opinion.
Spirit, I feel like could win a map. Like they could, or like a game. Like they're not completely shocking, and they have had that win at the Fire League. However, they literally played 3 best of 3s. The only one result I'd actually say that was that decent was against 9Z, where they like battered them 2-0. So that's like really bad for 9Z to have that coming into this event, but great for Spirits to be like, oh, you know, it's a team that is in the major. We've just won 100K playing 3 best of 3s.
Yeah,
happy days. But Spirit shouldn't have even been there anyway. So I don't know.
Yeah. No, Spirit I think had a very easy ride in that tournament. Like to be honest, they're opening matchup, I can't even remember who they played, but they kind of destroyed them. It might have been like
I think it was
it's
Arctic, right? Was their
Arctic.
first
Yeah,
one?
yeah. Just one of the like South American qualifying teams from the leagues. But I think that does have some value. Similarly to Outsiders, where they both won events heading into this. Those are big confidence events, and I think that teams that utilize that confidence, like win events, win tier 1
Yeah.
lands. I guess more so challenger than anything. So Outsiders definitely looking for like a buff in this major, building into it. It's all about like peaking at the right time, and Spirit kind of doing that. Like this is probably one of the bigger events that Spirit have won, even though they weren't supposed to be there.
Two things I have is like about the Outsiders. First is the fact they beat Ents in the final. I think like says so much more as well. Like you're playing against a team that I think like 9Z and Ents, like you've kind of got these two different teams. Like being Ents in a 2-1 and like you're doing it on a stage in front of a crowd. I feel like that confidence is going to be even more, as you kind of said. And also the coach thing about Furia. I remember when Spirit last major, I was like, they have no coach, young team. Oh, they're done. I was like, these guys aren't going to do anything. Like they need a coach. And then they did top 4 without a coach. So it's all like a really weird one. And I'm just interested to see like, firstly, why he's there. I don't know if there's even does anyone even know why he's there? The Furia coach.
More of the mental side, right? Because I think they're almost trying the Imperial option, right? And don't get me wrong, I don't think Imperial are going to do as well as Furia at this major, but like Imperial are going to have choosing to have FNX behind them in a sense of, okay, we want him involved for what could be his last
FNX
event.
does not talk.
But FNX, just as you say, doesn't do anything, right?
He wants to not go.
As for Furia, they believe in art to do most of the work, like Fallen's doing on Imperial when it comes to IGLing and leading. They believe in art to just shoot the shit and say what he wants to say, and just have him in the background as a good I think current poker player to be a mentality coach, and it can work. Don't get me wrong, I think that can work. But at this major, having no CS experience, is he going to just go for mental advice only? I'm not sure how that's going to work.
I mean, you have to. Like, there's no chance you can sit there and be like, "Hey, guys, this is how you play the game."
Well, no, obviously, but
Yeah.
Realistically, that's the only thing you can really say, and it comes down to him knowing how to stay calm in pressure situations. I guess maybe that's it.
And, all right, anything else before we move on to X?
That's a no.
Oh, sorry,
right.
I did. Yeah, no, that's all grand. Just like our last one, UK best.
Of course.
All right, X. Let's go over yours.
All right. So first off, I'm just utterly shocked to hear this UK bolstering whenever we see Liquid just destroy.
See you Epic Land, bro. See you Epic Land. Like, come Epic Land.
But I mean, I feel like the top of the list is pretty self-explanatory. Maybe people think that I'm overvaluing Vitality right now, but I think that they're pretty aptly.
I don't think. I think you're making them pretty good.
I think they're playing like Spinks as well. Fucking.
Yeah. And out of the gates, I didn't think that they were going to do this good. I thought that they were going to struggle quite a bit. I didn't think that it was going to be the answer to their problems, but I was listening to the HLTV confirmed podcast with Dupree, and he was talking about how there's some big role clashes with Masuda and Dupree. Dupree's shown a little bit of better form. So I think that this is going to be pretty solid. 3 teams that potentially make it. FaZe obviously have a lot on the line, and then Na'Vi I think they're top performance is just automatically major winning when they have their 3 best players shine. A tier, Outsiders, like I said, I think they're hitting some strides right before the event. They kind of overperformed in EPL. They showed some strength. They won Challenger, so that's a big accomplishment for them. They needed that win. It was pretty confident as well. So I think they're in good position. Cloud9, obviously, they're always a contender. With my A tier, I guess I kind of thought of playoff teams. Maybe OG, NIP, and INTS are overvalued in this, but I've also seen OG consistently overperform in like Blast. INTS is hitting some strides quite nicely. I think that I trust in Snappy completely to build up a nice project off the back of these players. Even if it takes a little time, even if it doesn't show up in this major, he's going to be pretty valuable. So, and then Liquid, of course, fresh off the back of a solid EPL. And then Fnatic just lucky to be there, of course, as well. In the A tier. But EG, I'm proud of them, man. They did so well. Hex had his best career game so far in EG to qualify for the major, which was super sick to watch. I got to cast that game. So think again a little bit overvalued, but what I'm seeing is consistent improvement in the results. They have a whole month to prepare for this major, so that's a lot of time to get things ready, get the ball moving. I believe they have that blast event coming up, but still, we're going to see more form out of them in that event as well. mouz, young guns, dude. Always believe in these guys. I think that they can do some damage. Big is always there in the B tier, man. They're the permanent B tier team. B&E believers. Sprout. I think you guys are dissing Sprout for a surprising reason, man. They're very, very good. I know that their online results.
I love them, but they worry me.
That's fair, but there are more when it came to LAN. I think that some of the experience really shined, and they played very, very good. Like online results, maybe not the best, but just taking phase the distance. Their run was really difficult up until the fact that they had to take on bait, and sure they lost a map, but they closed it out in the end. So I feel like this team is very good compared to what they probably should be. Spirit again, kind of momentum builder, and then Furia in that same tier. They are they're gonna do damage. They're pretty good at majors actually as well, getting into playoffs. So that's why I got them there. 0-0 Nation, they look very good. I like the veteran youth talent that they have going on. 9Z. I think they'll be able to take down some of the maybe Oceania regions. They'll definitely be able to take down Imperial if that matchup takes place. gamerlegion, I was impressed, but not that impressed. And then Heroic, I might be a little bit down on them.
Yeah, that's what I saw. You're a little down on Heroic.
So yeah, two things for me. I want to pick up. I want to hear your
Go
reasoning
ahead.
on this one. I agree with Sadko already. Like gamerlegion, I get because they're like I put them in a similar place. Like they're like kind of we like the whipping boys, but still they had a really difficult run to qualify. As for Heroic, like I think they're a dark horse for me. Why? I mean, I don't believe in them in playoffs in front of a crowd, but why not at all?
I don't know. They're in the legend stage already, right? Is that
I think
correct?
so.
They got there.
They're really close.
I think that they could make playoffs, but also I don't know. This team doesn't really show up that much on land. They do have a big experience gap. I don't know. The crowd factor as well is going to take a
yeah,
big issue,
they are legends. They are legends.
So I don't know. It's going to be a little bit of pressure. I might have bumped them up into B tier. I feel like it's definitely unfair to have them in C. Now that I'm looking at the teams,
Yeah,
that they're beside.
like B&E
Yeah.
above.
For sure.
But if
them?
they bomb out though, you look like a genius.
That is very true. I would never stick with this opinion. I don't know how they got to C. That might have been just misfire from me, but I would move them up to B for sure. So if that makes anyone feel any better, I don't know if they are locked in for playoffs. They might struggle in that legend stage, but I would for sure move them up one. They're not in this tier at all. And then lastly, Imperial. They snuck by, man. Again, I think this team relies a little bit too much on veteran talent, and not to say that they won't have a big boost in terms of utilizing that veteran talent in front of the crowds and all that, and they'll have all of the crowd cheering for them, showing up to their games. I mean, that for the challenger stage, that stadium is going to be insane, but I don't know if this team is going to do any damage, to be honest. They just don't look like they have it, other than like Fern and Cello. This roster is definitely lacking. Fallen even in some games, but again, that relies on that veterancy, and there's not a lot of pressure in Swiss stages, I feel like, and even when there is, how much can you rely on that consistently?
I can agree with that. I respect that opinion. Chris, let's do yours.
One thing I want to just mention with the vitality thing you were saying with like Dupree and Masuta, it's like because Masuta's a hard entry and Dupree's a hard entry. So they brought those two people on a roster, and it's just like,
Yeah, a bit
it's
lost,
just like what do you expect? And then it's like same with Glaive and Config. Config's a hard entry, and Glaive goes, yes, but I want entry now, and it's like, there's just like, what can you really say about it? It's like obviously it's gonna be role clashes. Like you've got two defined roles, and you're like double placing them. And it's just like,
You don't have to worry about config anymore.
oh yeah, true. But like that was oh yeah. You see, he quit drinking alcohol.
I just got that.
Go ahead. Okay,
Go, Chris.
All right. So mine makes most sense to everybody else here. I'm going to just mention that off the bat, okay? First off, favorites. Of course, spelled the correct way. There's no U in the word favorites. Just want to make sure that's clear. We have vitality.
We created your language.
American education moment.
I'm going to say American is by far a better language than English. So we're moving on here. Vitality. They're just good. I think we all agree Vitality, FaZe, and Na'Vi. I said FaZe winning it just because they're just COD trick shot team. That's where my roots are. No
You see
real
my
reason.
trick shot on Twitter?
What?
Do you see my trick shot earlier yesterday?
You hit trick shots? No, it probably wasn't good. I only see good ones on my feed. So I'm just that's split. That's the truth. All right, here we go. Number B tier or whatever I call it horse team because it's the horse team. Liquid. I think they're not going to win. I think they'll probably hit top 4. But I don't see them winning. I think they choke. I think it's going to be Cold Zero somehow screwing up again. But this time on like Nuke instead of Inferno or Mirage.
This world,
Yeah,
in this world that you're living, it's Liquid 0-0 Nation Grand Finals and Rio.
No, they're gonna get cold. That's what he meant.
Okay.
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 Oh, okay. Gotcha.
You got
gotcha.
it.
I'm sorry.
They got cold zero
Yeah.
the Mirage. The guy get it now.
Yeah, jumping double for cold. That one. Right?
Yes.
Okay.
What accent was that?
Our horrible attempt at any accents at all.
That was an
that's
English
it.
accent, actually. That was not an American accent.
Yeah, don't ever do that again in your life. Next tier, please.
And then we have Bad Horses. It's basically the teams I don't think they're going to do that well. I have Cloud9. You know I'm rocking their shirt. I think they're going to be the 5th place team. I think they're kind of a team that can push up. Again, I don't really watch professional Counter-Strike, so I'm just based off of like vibes. That's
And
how I
logos.
feel.
You go
And
by
logos.
logos.
And logos. Outsiders.
Logos.
They're on the outside. I don't think they're going to go in. Ents because they're Finnish, and then NIP because they're Swedish for the for the most part. Are they Swedish still?
Nordic.
Oh, they are?
Nordic,
Oh, they're
yeah.
they're only 3 Swedes. 3 Swedes.
Yeah, they got
Still
some Viking
majority.
in them.
Still majority.
DJL, their coach is Swedish as well, right?
Yeah. Okay, so I'm feeling good about that team. Mouz, the logo is bad, but I remember the old one, so it kind of gave me flashbacks to what it used to be like. So I put them up there. And then we have OG, because they're just OG, man. I mean, they're fresh. I mean,
That's just fresh as fuck, man.
they're just fresh. And then we have Sprout. This next one's Sprout, the green tree looking one.
Yeah, it's Sprouter, right?
Yeah, Refresh is
Sprout.
cool. I like him. He's one of the few Danish people I actually enjoy, like looking at. And then we have Heroic.
Hey, yo.
Hey, yo.
Heroic. I think they're gonna do worse than Sprout. This is just a refresh revenge tour. I think that's what it's gonna be like. So I
Respect.
have them right after Sprout, just out of spite. Either
I'm
way.
so based.
And then we have actually awful teams. These are teams that I think they're actually awful.
Oh.
Oh, yeah.
Furia and actually awful.
I have Big because they're not that big. They're small. Furia because they're a Brazilian team going to Brazilian Major. It's not going to turn out well. People think they're going to do well. The home field advantage. The pressure's going to get to them. They have a lot of expectations. I don't believe any Brazilian team is going to do well in this event. If anybody does it, it is going to be Furia, but I don't think anybody's going to do good.
I can agree with that though, because
Yeah.
like everyone thinks, but I want them to do good, but I can see them just all fall through. now.
I think Caserado doesn't do all that well in really,
Queso
really
who?
important events. Caserado. He
Furia
did
guy.
insane in
Oh, no,
EPL
Furia. I
group
have no clue.
stage. He had his absolutely stunning performance, but I do think he's going to cool off here. I think the pressure's going to get to him a little bit.
Yeah.
So I agree.
Hey, base.
They're gonna get. I don't think it's gonna be like how Germany kind of gaped them in the semifinals and in Rio World Cup.
7-1.
7-1. It's not. Or yeah, they're not gonna be that bad, but they're not gonna be. I don't think like they're not gonna make it at all.
Yeah.
That's my take. But
That's
keep going.
I agree with your take. And then we have Imperial. I honestly, looking back at it, I probably should have put them down the how and why section because they barely qualified the NARMR. Like they barely did it. And I remember that was one of the biggest games I watched was that game when I was in Stockholm in a hotel room watching it because I did tourism that weekend. And then
It was the best game.
I was
Yeah, it
gonna
was a
say
very
like
good game.
it's close, but it's also like it's not. It wasn't like it was close against like some random team. Like it
Liquid
wasn't
even.
against,
Like if it was close
yeah.
against Liquid, I'd be more convinced. And if they
Yeah.
were to put Liquid down, like that would be impressive. But it was
I'd say it
complexity.
was. I feel like the complexity roster is pretty like I'd say like the complexity roster is better than some of the teams in here.
Yeah, I don't
Yeah.
think complexity is bad. They're just not experienced. They're playing against Fallen in like a distant series, so I
Yeah,
think that
that's
they
naturally.
should always be able to close that out.
And the
with
and the
experience.
like how they just like they've had like 2 months of practice max.
yeah.
yeah, I
Plus
mean,
traveling and like all that shit they've had.
I still think I'm going. I the Brazilian train here continuing. I feel bad. I put the Argentinians. Are they Argentinians for the most part? Oh no, they're like mixed. They're not even Argentinians.
Chilean,
They're
Argentinian,
South
Uruguay.
American. That's not Portuguese for the most part, or not Brazilian for the most part. Yeah, I put him down to how and why. I should have put him in the actually awful. I feel bad for that actually.
I would do a little 9Z Imperial switch, and honestly, you got a bang in tier list, I would say. Besides maybe
What
Liquid
about
and down tier.
fnatic?
I love it. And then we have the Lung Team 00 Nation. They look like two lungs. I don't know why people have been saying this. They look like two lungs.
It does.
I like Fox as a substitute. And so that's why.
That's the first time I've ever heard someone say about a team attending a major, "Oh, I like their substitute. They're gonna do well."
I like it.
Can I say,
substitute.
like, I
6 minutes.
casted Fox not too long ago. Fox is like genuinely awful now. Like just like
Bless him.
like it wasn't even like he was just missing. Like he was like 2 to 15 with the York on side nuke, and it was like actually like bad. And the average age for their team was 31. I remember.
Oh my god.
All right, let continue.
Yeah. Fnatic, just because they have one player that's gonna ruin it for the whole team. I feel bad for Crims because they have to deal with Mezzi or something like that. He is gonna screw up this team.
Did you almost go Measy?
No, I was looking at the name. I was like, how do I pronounce this? It took me a while, not gonna lie. If I said with 2 E's, I would have said Mezzi, but it's obviously Mezzi.
That's because it's Z and not Z. That's why.
Because we
I don't
speak the
know.
Queen's
What's
English.
the first word you just said? Zed? That's a letter?
Zed's a League of Legends champion. Come there.
Oh, yeah, never played that game either. All right.
Can me and Trav leave now? Like, is that a possibility?
And then I have
That's a
people
Valorant
geniuses.
singer too.
They're not even majority American anymore. There's only 2 Americans on this team. I don't even know if we should call them American. I think we call them North American. Awesome,
That's
right?
usually what
Uh,
people do.
Yeah, I was gonna say that tends to be.
They have a Danish
general
coach?
theme.
Yeah, they got the old Copenhagen Flames guy.
Vorborg? What a name.
He's learning out about the teams while on the podcast. Like, oh, this is cool.
That's the way to do it, man.
I tell you, I don't watch that. This
Do you
is
have,
like this.
do you
is
have
the...
every HLTV like tab
If
open
I-
for
if
every
on my
team
left
that you're
side,
just
Can you
scrolling
share
through
your
one by
screen? Yeah.
one?
I am
Can
looking.
we see your
I'll
screen?
show you. I'll show you real quick.
All right.
Okay.
It's not. I
It's
mean,
just that every
I
single
have-
hit, like, is like close,
Yeah.
close.
As it goes to the
close.
TV, he's just like,
there we go. I have.
There we go.
I'm
Okay.
looking at all the teams and the players and stuff, so I really have no clue what I'm doing. All right, move back.
We're
here.
not sponsored by
this
that
is
ad, by the
cool.
way. Calm down.
That's some Swedish company. I don't even know who that is. Either way, what else was I saying here? Who are we on? We're on
how
Evil
and
Geniuses.
why?
Evil Geniuses
Spirit?
because I like Hacks a lot, but I don't think he's gonna buckle under pressure. I think when it comes to the major event, being in front of a large crowd, he lost to Strife back in Philadelphia 15. I mean, Strife was awesome. I understand like the best team in the world at that time. But,
Frag
like,
16, man. Come
Frag-
on now.
Yeah, Frag 16. Yeah, Frag. Is it? What did I say? 15?
Yeah.
Oh
So
shit.
if you don't
well.
watch professional CS, you don't know which Fragadelphia it is. Which CS do you watch?
I don't watch
watch-
CS. I watch movies and I play Paradox games.
Oh, God.
That's the extent of my life. Either way, moving on to the next one. Brazen? Oh, not Brazen.
Wait. 1 sec. let let me give you.
Spirit.
All right.
It's Bryson.
Crazy
So, that
motherfuckers.
is an NA ECL team that has the same exact logo.
Which logo?
The
Spirit.
Spirit logo.
Spirit.
I thought, yeah,
Oh.
yeah. So I don't think Team Spirit's gonna do well either. Yeah, and then I don't really want to talk about them. They're a little controversial. And then we have this team from IHC Esports, the Mongolian
From
team.
Mongolians.
Yeah, bro.
That's
Asian
sick,
Pacific
though.
RMR is free. I mean, I don't even know why they do it. Like, I don't even know
The
why they do
Chinese
it.
close qualifier is harder than the RMR.
I mean, Tyloo is awesome. 9Z, that's a team name. Yeah, they're. I should have put them above the Brazilians. Just have respect for Brazilians. And then we have GL. What's GL? Gamer Legion. They have one Swedish guy. They have Akor. I know a
They have
core.
a UK. They have a UK coach.
They have a UK coach, and then they have a Belgian player. So for that, I'm gonna say they're still in the right spot. And then we have what is the next
Belgian
player?
player.
Grayhound Gaming. Yeah, Australia, dude. They are. I'm not gonna say the word ass, but they are ass. Like they are bad.
I'm not gonna say the
again,
word ass, but they're ass.
There-
and then we have the Bad News Bear. Oh no, Bad News Eagles. Yeah, they're just a
Bad
ripoff.
news bears.
It's just a ripoff. I think they stole the brand for no reason. I feel bad for the Bad News Bears because this team is making them really look terrible. I think Bad News Bears is way better than whatever this team is.
Wrong.
But I think
Incredibly wrong, but also based at the same time.
yeah, I think we have never seen Bad News Bears at a major. How are we supposed to know how good they are? I mean, how are we supposed to know? We've seen.
fair.
So true, bestie.
Yeah,
So
Has
why I
Bad
know
News
top
Eagles ever beat Blue Jays in Europe?
Don't think so.
Probably, but maybe.
Oh,
Why are we talking about Blue Jays in Europe?
Oh, I just did it.
Never mind. He made a joke about the only team that Bad News Bears actually beat in the EU, which was Blue Jays.
Oh.
So
I'm sure BNE have beat them at some point in all
Yes,
the
they
stuff
have.
that they play.
Also, we talked about like we didn't mention Acor's like shooting back now. We didn't mention that.
Acor is
Acor's
shooting
doing-
back.
Yeah,
It's
Acor's
almost
like
surprising.
It's
It's
Shui.
Shui. The Shui factor.
Yeah.
Yeah. He's
I
playing
love
really
Shui
well.
as an IGL man because he hopped into this team, probably didn't really expect to make the major, that's for sure. Then the teams that they're beating are insane, and then they still choked a couple of those games, but I think Shui had some of the best calls. He was calling some crazy stuff, like insane like gamble stacks on the CT side that were just winning them rounds. Sometimes they would even gamble stack and lose a round because they couldn't shoot properly, like they didn't have the mechanics maybe all necessary. Maybe they had some nerves, but they would still have like the right reads, and so Shui's IGLing, it just proves to be well above his years.
I think also as well.
would
like,
agree.
Talking about Ime, I think it's gonna be interesting to see how like he does on like a
IM,
insna-
not
No,
Ime.
it's Ime. It's Ime. I've had this
Okay.
conversation with a Romanian player recently. It's Ime.
Okay.
Because
so
they
why
were
was
calling him.
why was I told by Romanian that it was IM?
Well, it's not. It's wait. So who told you that?
Some of the people who casted him before, so they asked people, and they said
I-
it was IM and not Immer.
Oh, I got
Because
told by
I said
Pop and-
because I said Immer that before as well.
It's Ime. I got told because
Ime.
Chanky and Pop told me it was Ime.
Okay. Well,
So I was like, I went off.
I think
that.
we need to figure out. We need to ask the actual guy
Yeah,
himself. I think-
just ask him.
I was
Just
Should we
ask
bring
him.
him in?
I'm
Should we
literally-
bring him in.
I'm literally gonna drop a DM right now.
How do you pronounce your name? Is it IM Imma or Ime?
I thought the
I
M was
feel like-
silent.
I feel like
That's just
IM
I.
should, in theory, be the easiest name. To
It's not
pronounce, but
IM.
it's-
Like I know it's not. It's either Ime
No,
or Ime.
I wouldn't be able to tell you what the right one is because
Yeah.
I've never asked anybody. But
Either way,
it's just funny
he's
how that's
cracked.
such
He's
He is good.
cracked. Like he's.
Oh, his
super,
DMs are
super good.
closed. Feels bad.
Yeah, I was like, because I don't want to say, because I was like, does he follow you back? And I was like, oh, he doesn't follow me back.
All right, guys, that was Chris's Stephen out. Move
Thanks,
over
Chris.
Anthran. That's Stephen A. Smith takes right there, man. If you guys
Sorry.
know what Stephen A. Smith
those
is,
still are. I mean, those still might be better than some of Anthran's takes, even though.
Oh yeah.
pretty
A-
much true.
Hell
Like-
Any
yeah.
any
surprisingly
take from
solid
anyone
tier
is better
list.
than Anthran's.
Hell
Surprisingly solid tier list
His
based
takes
on
that
your
bad?
general vibes.
He does the hottest takes out there.
Really?
Yes.
He does the hottest takes. Yeah.
Oh.
Hot as in very
always
very
wrong, though.
cold. Very very cold takes.
Yes, cold as can be.
Oh,
but
we'll go over mine.
with the
We'll go over
energy of
mine
the
very
hottest.
fast. We'll do over mine very fast, and we'll do a collective, really collective. All right, I say the S tier is pretty much like the favorites, kind of the obvious ones everyone agrees with. Is not feeding the vitality.
Fnatic and Bear.
I don't really have it in order. I'll put it here right now. A tier, I have it as like potential. They can win the major if they're on form semifinals. That's why I only have two right there in the A with Liquid and Cloud9. Now with the B tier, I did not put it in order, but if I had to put it in order, I actually do have outsiders first because I do think like people they're freaking boring as hell to watch, but they always win games. Like that's why I have outsiders there. Like and kind of the rest kind of goes the same. I do think I like how Fnatic plays. I'll respect some of the UK guys. I think they're gonna make maybe a play out front the top 8. The only question on the B tier where I have right there is I do not know how Spirit and Fury are gonna do. Like the coaching situation of Furia, I have no idea. And then with C tier, it's like it's all B and C shit. It's all like relative because who the hell knows depending on seeding. But I just don't think anyone like the top 8. My top 8 is pretty much going to be like FaZe, Navi, Vitality, Liquid, Cloud9, and then there's going to be like the surprise one team that this should not make it, like a freaking like watch a Sprout make it to like top 8. Who the hell knows? Because they gave their where they figure out the way to get there. But now let's do a collective, all 5 of us. Let's do a real one.
Yeah.
All 5. All right.
Fnatic,
All right.
like obviously favorites.
Okay, favorites. I think we can knock down the obvious 3, right? FaZe, Vitality, Navi, right?
Yeah, we were all in agreement on those, right?
Yeah, I think so.
Yeah.
In this order,
Alright.
right? In this order, yeah.
Yeah.
No,
Eh,
I think we disagree on the order, but yeah.
We can keep the order like that. Now
It's
let's
hard,
do
yeah.
let's do all 3 because that's easier to do the bottoms first. We think he has like
Greyhound.
literally no shot.
Greyhound.
Greyhounds?
Greyhounds,
This one?
IHC.
Yeah.
IHC. I would put
IHC.
Imperial in there as well. I don't know if you'll.
I-
Imperial. Oh,
The thing
No.
is, like, if I had to put 3 teams there,
You only
guys
have to
have
put 2
Imperial-
technically in
Technically,
the,
yeah.
for the challenger stage. So
yeah.
there's only 2 teams that
All right.
go 3.
Now let's do make a run. We'll just say like let's say top 8 of playoffs. So we have 3 there. Let's put 5.
Liquid Cloud9.
Liquid
Yeah.
I like
Cloud9
Liquid
easy.
Cloud9, yeah.
All right. Now
put
we have
outsiders
5.
in
3,
there?
3 more. What we got?
3 more maker runs.
I think
Heroic.
This is where we're gonna have some fighting.
I'd say
I
Heroic?
think
NIP.
outsiders.
I like
Heroic.
outsiders.
I like outsiders. I have a
fuck
feeling
that,
outsiders are
man.
gonna make it.
I
mean-
don't want to see outside making a run. That's boring.
They're boring.
Do you
but
not want to
you can
see them make a run, or do you think that they are going to?
Bit
Because
of both.
honestly, yeah.
They're dark
They-
horses. They're not maker run. They're dark horses.
I
'cause they
think-
can, they can just beat anyone.
You know what? The 2 British
What-
guys convinced
what
me.
what 2 teams do you think are
They
going to be
sound
better
smart.
than them though?
I think NIP can beat them. I think Furia can beat them.
Oh.
And
I mean,
I think
outsiders
a
have put
rematch
Furia
of
down
Ents.
every single time they've played them.
I think
The
a
head-to-head
really
of
good...
outsiders and Furia, they smoke them every time.
I think an outsiders Ents matchup would be so interesting again at the major. Like having that would be so much fun to watch.
Me, since we have technically had to have
And they
3
2-0'd
more.
Ins at Challenger to win the event too.
Was it 2-0
I
or
just-
2-1?
Just
2-1, I think.
It was a very, very, very close series though, wasn't it? Like it was literally like a 16-14, 1 versus 3 that won them the game, right?
It was 16-8 first map, 16-14 second.
Yeah, like I think guy got a 1 versus 3. What's his name? James.
All right. For the 3 teams, who do we all like? We could put 4 and we could drag 1 down at the end. So we could put
Okay.
outsiders up there.
I don't agree, but we can argue about that later.
No,
Okay.
we'll bring them down. Like let's have them
Also,
up
Okay,
you're
there.
saying
okay.
We'll figure out which
Furia
one.
smoked outsiders at Cologne. What are you on about? Outsiders always smoke Furia.
EPL. I mean, they
That
just
was
have a
one
really good map
one
pool up against
series.
All right,
It was a
wait,
close series.
Let's
Guys,
put them on.
who cares? Who cares? Let's look at the other
let's
teams
put-
first.
No, let's put it on the make a run, and then we'll talk about it. Who else do you guys have right there?
Heroic,
Like,
100%.
Heroic,
I would
and
agree.
then-
I like them.
and then
Heroic are going to make playoffs, but then bomb out. As for the other 2, I've got no idea.
I'd
Maybe
say
Furia,
NIP.
maybe Ents.
I was thinking
maybe
NIP. I was going to put up here.
NIP, and
I'm happy with
then-
NIP, honestly.
What is this one? That's Brazen. And then we have Big. And we have Bad News
All right.
Eagles.
I low-key want to say Ents, but like
Ents
Ents frustrate me.
the logo is sick.
Ents frustrate me. They're a team that
They
have the
frustrate
quality
me.
to beat anyone, but they don't look as solid as they. I mean, literally, I don't know why I'm saying this because they've lost Spinks, who's like
Yeah.
a generational talent,
Yeah,
right?
That's the
But
problem, yeah.
obviously they don't look as solid as before, and Valda's still, in my opinion, still living off like name value a bit from his insane years at North because he hasn't really been
Where-
around.
where
for
do
a
we
while.
have? Where do we have? I
North
know
killed
Freddie.
them.
I know Freddie has his heart on Fnatic. Well,
I feel like Fnatic. Like as okay,
wait. We
genuine
hold up.
meme aside,
Hold
though.
up. Hold them off. Let's go Furia first. We'll talk about Furia
Okay.
first. Yeah. What do we think about
Uh,
Furia?
I think Furia are going to make playoffs but lose in the first playoff round.
Yes,
They're gonna
very
make- they're
heroic.
gonna make
assessment,
quarter
So you're
right?
thinking they make a run
I
at least 'cause they're in the
agree.
top 8.
Yeah.
So they make playoffs, but that's all. I think they're going to fight their way through somehow. I don't know why, but I just don't think they have the quality to actually like get to the final or anything.
they're able to make playoffs in like every event. That's what they're good for, but I don't know if they ever really get past that first stage.
Yeah,
And I think also we saw is it Safe or Safe? What is it? Is it
safe.
Safe, yeah.
He he was the highest rated player by like a lot at the Americas RMR. And
That is
I
his
think
domain,
I-
though. Like,
yeah.
he farms tier 2 and
yeah,
like,
but
no
then I think it
other.
was like the problem I always had with this roster was kind of like here like the level of like Safe sometimes when like, I was looking at it. So the fact that he's already like I know it's like it's his domain, but like it's a definitely like he was the highest by like a lot. So I think having that I think will be a big confidence booster for this roster.
I think
For
that
me-
he might be able to boost his confidence, but he's not going to be the element that does anything. It's Caserado and Yuri, I think, in tier 1 competition versus like
Yeah.
European teams and top oppers.
Yeah.
Those two are like the ones at best.
Yeah.
Like Safe isn't. Safe is like, I don't know. He's a supportive opper for this team more so than anything. But I think they're just letting him loose on NA qualifiers because he could just like mess up these guys.
And for me, I'm happy adding Furia, and I'm happy to fight about moving outsiders and just putting them in dark horses. But we'll see.
All right. So will these 5 teams? Wait, 6 teams. Sorry. We'll fight about it right now. Is there
Okay.
any more? Is there any more on this make a run conference?
We
Or
should say which
for
ones we
much.
definitely like want to keep.
the top two. The top two, obviously.
These two, I
Liquid
think we
and-
all
yeah.
want to keep. So it's between
Yeah.
these
Yeah.
four.
These
Yeah.
4.
Okay.
I'd
Would
say
we
one.
remove one?
Who?
We
Okay.
remove
Who?
one.
We're gonna like. I guess we do like voting, and we say like if you have any like if you think they move down, we'll like say that person or whatever. Okay. Who thinks outsiders are gonna move down? Okay, we got 2 that think that. Heroic. I think Heroic's gonna go down.
I have actually heroic. I will vote heroic down.
Okay, and then we have NIP. I don't think anybody thinks they're gonna go down. We already voted pretty much. And Furia, I think we all. What we heard from Trav is that they make playoffs but blow it.
Yeah.
I think that's
I agree
that's
with
their
that
spot.
point.
I like that. I
If
agree.
that's
I
make
like
a
that
run,
take.
then yeah.
So
yeah.
between these two, so is there any swaying that Trav and
I'd say
The thing is, I feel like all of these, like these 4 teams right here, are all teams that probably won't be in the semifinals.
No,
Yeah.
they'll be like in the quarters. Besides,
Yeah.
like I see Liquid and Cloud9 can make it.
I'm almost thinking like I think that's our logic, right? We're saying the genuine make a run. The
Yeah.
genuine make a run is Liquid Cloud9. The other 4 are
Right.
like just
Yeah.
what I think can make playoffs, and that's
Yeah.
it really. And for me, I think outsiders are more of a dark horse because they can beat anyone, but they're also easily beaten by the top tier teams.
Okay.
You know?
I'll
That's fair.
respect putting outsiders down low.
let's do it. Let's do it.
Okay.
I'll agree
I'll agree with that.
begrudgingly.
All right. Now, okay, this stuff.
You can't even see
Hit me
these
out.
logos. It's big and
Just put them in 03 for now, so we can see the logos. They're not 03.
yeah.
Just put those.
Yeah,
fair
yeah,
enough.
that's a good
Yeah.
idea. Yeah.
Yeah, just put them there.
rightfully
So we,
where-
This
Should we,
is-
should we
No.
choose those first? Should we choose those first then?
yeah,
To get them out of
since
the
yeah,
03?
yes, yeah. Okay, so big.
Dark horse.
I would agree.
Dark Horse if they have all 5.
Like does like imagine like Dark Horses like for playoffs, right? Is
They
that
could
what-
Is that like
contend for
maybe
playoffs.
Legends?
Maybe, yeah.
Like they can
You think
contend to
that
make
would be
legends.
a fair
yeah.
assessment? Yeah.
They
Yeah.
make legends 100%.
Then yeah, then that's fair.
Let's
Okay,
do the white.
I'll-
Let's do the white logos first. So it's
I'll
easier.
accept that. I'll accept
I
that
think
for big.
poor
Beanie.
performance.
Beanie.
I think
I don't think
Poor.
they'll make it to playoffs. I think poor.
no.
I think poor, unfortunately.
I-
They're
Yeah,
like they're
I
like a
think
2 and 3 in the legend stage team.
Yeah.
Something along those lines. But
Something like
I
that,
don't-
2 and 3, and they're gonna get like just trounced by like some phase or something.
Spirit Dark
like
Horse.
the
So
good
much like that,
teams.
yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I'd say Spirit Dark
Spirit
Horse.
Dark Horse.
Dark
Spirit's a dark horse.
Okay.
And then
EG, poor performance.
I think we all agree on that.
They've
Alright.
improved so much in a very short period of time, but I think they have to still be under poor performance against
Yeah.
like top tier
Let's-
EU.
Good future
Let's
though.
keep-
Great future ahead of them.
Let's keep the Brazil
Yeah.
teams. Brazil. Let's do Brazil now.
Okay.
good.
The Brazil now.
Alright.
Could you put any of
The
them
Brazil
in
now.
poor performance?
I would put
Uh,
all of
The,
them
the
as
only
well.
one I have a shot is the Lungs 0-0 Nation, but
0-0
I
I'd
actually-
say 9Z are the only ones that I'd put in.
Yeah, it's so hard.
This is a tough one. This is a really tough one. For me, 0-0 Nation and 9Z to actually make the major itself, they were like a 50-50 pick for me. I really thought either of them could have made it. I think
Yeah,
I said that on one of our
you did.
RMR pods. For me, I think 0-0 Nation have shown that they can have a little bit of a higher ceiling in just a short period of time. Of course, we need to see them in the in this upcoming Blast Showdown, which I'm very interested to see how they do there. But yeah, I think they are more promising to me than 9Z or Imperial, because if coldzera's now saying that he doesn't go out and have fun anymore and only sits and plays Counter-Strike, then you know that's when you need to be concerned. So I think 0-0 Nation, if you're going to put a Brazilian team in Dark Horse, put them there. I think the other two, 9Z and Imperial, should be poor performance for me.
That's my take.
Yeah, true.
I'll just steal it.
I couldn't agree more.
Based. Yeah.
And this
We're-
team.
Yeah.
9Z.
I honestly want to say 03.
I don't think Imperial go 03. Like, there's no
Imperial
shot.
beat
I-
Grayhound. Imperial
You
beat
think, like,
Grayhound.
Yeah, they're gonna get that one
Oh,
win.
there are
from,
only
like,
two
the
teams
most-
to go in 3. I'm kind of lost
Yeah.
here. Oh,
Yeah.
lol. Okay.
I mean, it's like there would be 4 because there'd be one from the challenger
Yeah.
stage too. but-
Yeah.
Yeah, we could put one down there. We can.
Yeah.
All right. Let's do 9Z. I'm on the
I think-
poor performance.
I think we.
I'd love to. I think.
I think they're
I
better
look
than
at
Imperial, though.
teams.
Wait, we will rank them. Let's put them into poor performance, and then we'll like kind of
Cool.
rank them inside
I
the tiers.
Sounds
I
good.
love the idea of OG, gamerlegion, 9Z, like
Oh, I
OG,
want-
I'd throw into that mixture. Like I love the idea of seeing those teams like who kind of have like a super young roster of like, you know, each player,
We'll
or like
make
not
it-
a whole roster, but like players who it's like, holy shit, like imagine if this group of players or this guy made like a run in the major at such a young age. Like it's such a cool like thing to
It could
have. But it's
happen.
like how like yeah, like it could happen, but it's like when does it come to a stage where it's like you gotta just almost like hit reality of like, I think especially for Game Legion, like oh my god, imagine if they made even legends. Like that would be so sick if they made
You're right.
legends.
You're right on that, because NQZ on 9Z I think is 17. Launex on Sprout is 17. So it's like,
It's like how
And-
sick would that be to see?
Do you,
Yeah.
do you remember the last
Like
major?
Spirit, I think Spirit's a prime example of like, oh my god, that was awesome to see.
Yeah.
Like,
I
that
was
cool.
literally
Yeah,
gonna say
yeah.
that. Like last year, last major, no one had Spirit ever making it the top 8.
Yeah.
Pretty sure no one
And
did.
it's also interesting as well because you're like, is this the last one? Oh my god, they won another one. Is this the last
Yeah.
one? Oh my god, they won another one. Like it just like it's cool. It makes, I think, see, like that's what like, oh, was it like Spirit, the Dota team, right? Won the mate like them like their TI,
Yeah.
and
Yeah.
they were like the wild card or something like that. And it's like that type of stuff. It just makes it so much better to watch.
Yeah.
this final group we've got on the bottom of my screen right now
I've-
is the hardest predictions
I'll
ever.
put-
Yeah.
I'll put Ents, Dark Horse.
I
just
like Ents and
because-
Agreed.
Fnatic Dark Horses.
Yeah.
Yeah,
that's what I do.
can I actually
that's
talk about
guaranteed for me.
Fnatic? Like non,
Go right ahead, go right ahead.
like non,
Yeah, go for
like
it.
Go right
non,
ahead.
like oh my god, I love Fnatic. Like obviously like a little bit biased, but like okay, you've got Mezzi who's coming into the cooler. I feel like Fnatic wouldn't have made him an IGL without like seeing something in him, and that was more the question at like going after the player break, like what's Mezzi gonna be like? And I feel like he's proven that already. He said in a HLTV article, like his first one, that he was like, I don't want my fragging to be like taken back because of this. And at first it was, so that was the worry. It was like, oh okay, like he says he doesn't want the fragging to be bad, but it is. Came back from the player break and it all seemed really good. Roy, I was talking to Mezzi about this, and his exact words were, Roy is a IGL's dream in the way how he communicates in the game. Crims is also like, he also has like a very nice secondary voice and also brings like a very calm level. Like he said the team is like super calm, the team's like very relaxed, and it's like Roy as well being like a very big secondary caller, and then him and Nikodos work very well together as well. And I think Fasha like there was the big like the fifth player. I think like there was a lot of players that there was 2 players they were gonna get. I don't think we're still allowed to leak them, but like it just, they wouldn't have fit the roles, and Fasha has well. And I think that was the one really important thing of this final roster of like, you have Roy, Nikodos, Mezzi, Crims. How's it going to end off? You've brought in Fasha, who has a lot of experience as well. And then you've also got a team where it's like, you look around the circle and it's like, who here couldn't realistically have a 30 bomb? Like everyone you could go into a server and you look around, you're like, everyone genuinely could do well here. And you see that from the stats, and it is like showing quite well.
That is
I
a
agree with
perfect
you.
Dark Horse team.
Actually, I completely agree with you on that. Like, as you say, bias aside, let's not even talk about like Mezzi, for example, right? Let's just talk about the other factors. The fact that I also agree with you in the fact that Fasha has been the perfect addition. Like, it's surprising as well, because people question the fact they brought Fasha in alongside Roy, and they're both like, you know, over 25 riflers, which you may think the best of their career has gone, because you're seeing these youngsters now come through who are 17, who are taking the scene by storm. But no, like despite his crazy control scheme, which is very well documented, I think Fash has been a perfect addition. And yeah, I completely agree with you. That Fasha in tier 1 has still yet to pop off like he did on Ecstatic, but he's showing signs of being able to compete, and that's what matters. Because you just want a consistent 5, as you say. Like you want a 5 that can deliver when you need them to, and I really think this Fnatic can do that. And as I say, bias aside, I love this team. I'll be cheering for them for sure.
I like
perfect dark horse team.
I do like Fnatic's a dark horse, but let's get these other 4, and then we'll rank within the dark horse and the poor performances.
Okay.
So,
the problem is how many dark performances can we have? That's the one thing. Like, how many dark horses are we saying? Like, how many could we add? Because like we can't have 12 dark horses. Yeah, one more.
One or two more. One or two more.
So we have top
three.
Top three. This is all legend stage. No, this is all playoffs. And these are teams that we think we're gonna probably make the legend stage.
I say one more. I both put one more.
One more.
I think Sprout have to be it, right?
I like OG.
This is again the situation.
This is so hard
for me. Like even Big for me. Like I'd argue Big is unless Tabson decides just to say
what? They are
destroys
playing with
everyone.
Sin too. They don't have Faven. Not that Sin's terrible or anything.
But
are they playing with Faven?
Have they confirmed they're playing with Faven for the major or not?
Sin said he had stickers, but that might have just been a hype tweet too.
Because like on HLTV, I think it says Faven's playing, but then like I don't know, like there's no article being like Faven is playing the major, Sin is playing the major.
The thing is, like, I don't think Big are like that. I know it's a major and it's like the most important thing, but Sin qualified them for the major, and like we've already seen how much like bad publicity Astralis got whenever Bubsky qualified for the major and then got booted out.
This is different though, no?
Yeah, it's a temporary substitution, but I don't know.
It's so tough. Like I agree.
I would feel pretty bad if he didn't get any piece of the like.
I agree on that. I think Sprout can beat them. I think mouz can beat Big. I think OG can beat Big. I think Big can beat mouz. I think blah 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 blah. Like it's a nightmare. It's a nightmare. I'm willing to say mouz dark horse because these youngsters have performed better than I think.
Yeah. Okay.
Blown performance as well. Like take down to the count. It was with Bemis, but they still did really well at Cologne. And like you saw that like JDC fucking popped off in front of a crowd of like 20,000 people. So it's if he Yeah.
Put them there. Put the other 3 on the bottom. Now let's rank. Let's go within now.
Put them here.
Yeah, just put them on there. We'll fix it. We'll fix it.
I would sub out 0-0 Nation for a team as well. One of these.
Yeah, we're gonna fix it. We're gonna fix it right now.
Actually, yeah.
Okay. Dark horses. Let's go. Who's the obvious like safe? I'll put outsiders.
Genuine dark horses, outsiders, Ents Fnatic.
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah, put them in that order.
I would then put Spirit like just on the outside of that.
Just on the outside, yeah.
And then I'll put mouz.
Mouz equal to Big for sure. Yeah.
They're just like one of each.
Now,
and then if you want, you can. I was about to say, if you want, you can swap 0-0 with Sprout. I think.
Sprout or OG.
Sprout or OG, yeah.
Yeah. Okay, if we do that, then put Sprout in the front poor performance.
Yeah, I would say that they're probably top of the poor performance.
Yeah. And then after that,
GamerLegion?
I'll put GamerLegion.
Yeah.
And then
I would put BNE and GamerLegion kind of in a similar level too.
Yeah.
I think both those teams is a little bit unpredictable. Like we're going into this, like I still feel like with BNE,
they can do it.
I've watched like 5 games of BNE in the past like 3 months because they just haven't they've played they just haven't really done a whole huge amount within like EU. They boot camped and they won like a region. They won like the Adria LAN. They beat like Sinners in the finals, and then they just boot camped for and they just practiced for like 2 months. That was it.
And then this is all just us speculation right now, but I do like. I then I'll put EG right there, then I'll put 9Z. I'll put 9Z over Imperial.
Yeah, I don't mind this.
Yeah, 9Z over Imperial. Okay.
Yeah, I feel like that.
Because also, if we're thinking about this in the long term as well, right? You have to say, okay, if the teams that make it through the challenger stage Like, do you think Sprout would go 0-3 in the following stage because they're obviously like surely not, right?
No, surely
Because
not. No.
who's going to be playing in the challenge? Who's getting through the challenger stage?
Can
and
we?
who's making the legend stage?
Is there possible? Can we get another freaking tier on this really fast or no?
There is a major
NartOutHere.
RMR website that we could
Yeah.
run through if we wanted to.
Yeah, I was gonna say that might be easier.
I don't know.
How do I add?
I don't know.
Oh, add a row below.
Add a row. Add a row. Not,
row below.
wait. Add a row below dark horses. That make it easier.
Yeah.
But the majority of the
Alright.
dark horses we have are.
All right, I got it. Now we throw Spirit, Mouse, Big, OG, and Sprout. Yeah, throw
Okay.
that, and then put
And
Sprout up
Sprout.
there.
Yeah.
What do you want
What
to
do you
call
want to
this?
call? What do you want to call the tier?
Can surprise. Average.
Like,
Yeah.
like mid level or something like that.
I would say
Yeah.
can surprise is a good idea.
Yeah,
Yeah,
that's
can
perfect.
surprise.
Can surprise.
Yeah.
Oh, can.
Yeah.
I like
Yeah.
the dark horse teams as well. I think those are
Yeah.
perfect.
Those are the perfect ones. I think that's perfect right there.
I don't mind this. Yeah. For example,
like
like if a team, for example, like EG, BNE, 00 Nation, if they somehow squeak through challenges, they're a guaranteed like 0-3 pick for me in the legend stage.
Yeah,
example.
obviously. That's perfect.
I
think
like
that's a
that.
perfect tier list.
Yep.
Yeah.
I'm happy with that. Yeah.
All right.
And we went through it in detail. We got like a freaking pick'ems in order kind of too. All right.
Nice.
All right, guys. That was literally CS out here's pick'ems, doing our tier list, all this stuff today. We'll post the video up later today on YouTube, and as well, I want to thank all our guests of Trav, Freddie, Xner. Chris has been our producer. Also want to thank our sponsors in Refrag, Underdog, Buff Market, and also Manscaped. I know Freddie wants a Manscaped because he needs it the most. That's what he said. And also,
We edit that
lastly-
out. Can we...
No, we're not. That's in there forever. And also, we have to watch all of NartOutHere's videos to help get all your utility needs done. The Godfather of Spokes himself. He will be here soon in the next couple of videos. This is Saga here. We'll see us out here. Peace out.